Before we start, I need you to understand one thing. This is not a video about cars. You can keep your 0 to 60 times, your torque figures, your little spec sheets you screenshot at 2 in the morning and send to a group chat that stopped replying months ago. I do not care about any of that. This is a video about you, specifically what is quietly wrong with you, decoded entirely by the badge glued to the front of your car. I studied the parking lots. I sat in traffic. I read the comment section so you would never have to. And I have ranked every car brand in America by exactly how much therapy the owner is currently avoiding. We are going from the absolute basement all the way up to the top of the food chain. Somewhere in this video is your car. And when we get to it, you are going to feel personally attacked. You are going to start typing something angry, and that anger is going to prove my entire point before you even hit post. So buckle up, or do not. Statistically, half of you do not anyway. We begin at the very bottom, F tier, the floor. And there is only one car that truly lives down here, and you already know which one it is. The Nissan Altima. The Altima is not a car. The Altima is a financial decision that went wrong in slow motion. You have seen it. Front bumper held on with what appears to be hope and one zip tie. A temporary paper plate that has been temporary since the Obama administration. Tint so dark the driver is legally a rumor, and it is always coming over into your lane. No signal, doing 70 with one headlight, like a moth that owes money. The Altima owner is not driving to a destination. The Altima owner is fleeing a consequence. We salute them from a safe distance, ideally 3 lanes away. F tier. We move on quickly for our own safety. Next, we climb up into D tier. I call this the horsepower instead of a personality tier. This is where the Dodge Charger and the Challenger live, specifically the loud ones, the Hellcat crowd. Look, I respect the engineering. 700 horsepower is genuinely absurd, and I love absurd things. But you have to be honest about who is buying these. This is a man who could not fix what was missing on the inside, so he bought it in horsepower on the outside. He revs at red lights to a Honda Pilot full of a family of 4. He calls his car a beast. He has, on at least one occasion, left a Cars and Coffee event sideways, into a curb, on camera, in front of 200 people filming him in vertical. That clip outlived his insurance policy. Sharing this tier is the Mustang GT. Same energy, slightly different uniform. The Mustang exists at exactly one location on planet Earth, and that is the exit of a car meet, where it will inevitably attempt to do a burnout and instead introduce itself to a crowd of pedestrians. The Mustang owner is a wonderful person who has confused noise for confidence. We love him. We just stand on the grass when he leaves. Now we arrive at C tier. It is a lifestyle tier, and the king of this tier, wearing a crown made of rubber ducks, is the Jeep Wrangler. Here is the thing about the Wrangler. It is built to climb mountains, ford rivers, and conquer the wilderness. It is used to drive to a target in a strip mall. The closest this Wrangler has ever come to off-road is when it parked half on the curb outside a smoothie place. The doors come off in summer, which is a great way to tell the entire neighborhood that you have a Wrangler, in case the spare tire cover that says "Adventure Awaits" was too subtle. And the wave. They wave at each other. 2 strangers, bonded for life, because they both made the same questionable purchasing decision. That is not a community. That is a support group with a topless option. Right next to the Wrangler is the lifted Ford F-150, and I want to be clear. Working trucks are sacred. A truck that hauls lumber and tows a trailer and has dirt in the bed is a beautiful thing. This is not that truck. This is the truck that has never carried anything heavier than a single Costco rotisserie chicken in the passenger seat. It is lifted so high the owner needs a small ladder and a personal goal to get in. He tells you he needs it for work. His work is sitting in an air-conditioned office. The most strenuous thing this truck has done all year is roll coal at a Prius at a stoplight, which is a wild amount of effort to impress absolutely no one. C tier, lots of accessories, not a lot of self-awareness. And speaking of that Prius, let us pause for the eco crowd because they refuse to be ignored, mostly because they will tell you. The Prius owner is doing the right thing for the planet, and somehow they have made it everyone else's problem. They drive in the left lane at the exact speed limit, serene, untouchable, monitoring their miles per gallon like it is a heart rate, glancing at you with the gentle pity of a monk watching a barbarian. You are not driving behind a Prius. You are being silently judged by a hybrid. Okay, now it gets spicy. B tier, the status anxiety tier, the German debt collection. This is where the comment section traditionally catches fire, so let us pour the gasoline. BMW, the legend, the ultimate driving machine, and the ultimate machine for never ever using a turn signal. The blinker fluid runs dry the moment the car leaves the dealership. The BMW driver is not rude. The BMW driver simply believes that announcing his intentions would give you, the lesser motorist, an unfair advantage. He is 3 cars back in your blind spot, flashing his lights, because somewhere in his soul there is a meeting he is late for that does not actually exist. Bonus points if it is a 320i with an M badge he bought online and stuck on himself, which is the automotive equivalent of putting a black belt on a bathrobe. Then there is Audi. Audi is for the person who wants everything BMW has, but wants you to know they are not like the other BMW people. They are calmer, more refined, more tasteful. They also do not use turn signals, but they feel worse about it. The Audi owner has Quattro all-wheel drive and lives in Phoenix, where it has snowed 0 times. But it is nice to be ready, you know, just in case the desert freezes over. And of course, Mercedes. Now the older Mercedes crowd, the real ones, the ones in the diesel wagon that has done 400,000 miles. Those people are saints, and they belong much higher. We will get there. But this tier is for the new money badge buyer, the lease he cannot quite afford. The C-Class with the AMG body kit and the engine of a sensible appliance. He pulls up to valet, hands over the key like he is knighting someone, then checks his banking app in the parking garage, where nobody can see the fear in his eyes. The 3-pointed star does not stand for past, present, and future. It stands for the 3 credit cards holding this dream together. We cannot leave B tier without the Range Rover. The Range Rover is a magnificent, beautiful, commanding vehicle that spends roughly 40% of its life on the back of a flatbed tow truck. The owner does the school run in it like a queen. The other parents are intimidated. What they do not know is that the check engine light has been a permanent interior decoration for 2 years, and the air suspension has the structural integrity of a wet paper bag. It costs $90,000 to buy and your entire life savings to keep alive. It is not a car. It is a very tall, very expensive houseplant. Now, before we go up, we have to talk about the one brand that does not fit on any tier, because the car is not the car. The car is the personality. Tesla. The Tesla owner does not own a Tesla. The Tesla owner is a Tesla. It will come up. It does not matter what you are talking about. You could be at a funeral and they will find a way to mention range. They have named the car. They let it drive itself on the freeway while filming a reaction video, which is a bold way to gamble with everyone else's afternoon. And the Cybertruck owner is a different species entirely, rolling around in a stainless steel doorstop, fully convinced he is in a movie, while the panels collect every fingerprint within a square mile. We are not ranking Tesla, we are simply acknowledging it, the way you acknowledge weather. A tier. We are getting close to enlightenment now. This is the personality is a hobby tier, and it is genuinely a likable place. This is Subaru country. The Subaru owner has a dog, and that dog has been to more states than you have. The back window is a quilt of bumper stickers, a national park, a stick figure family, a 13.1, a thing about coexisting. There is a thin layer of golden retriever hair on every surface, permanently, like a forensic signature. They will, if you give them 3 seconds and 0 encouragement, explain the Boxer engine to you. They will also pretend the head gaskets are fine. They are not fine. They are never fine. But the Subaru person has accepted this the way you accept a difficult family member, with love and a healthy emergency fund. Sharing a tier is the Mini Cooper, the quirkiest car on the road. It is owned by the quirkiest person at the office, the one with the personality mug who paid premium prices to maintain something the size of a shoe. And the Volkswagen GTI, the enthusiast's secret handshake, a genuinely fun little car that comes standard with a check engine light that turns on to say good morning. A tier. These people have a hobby, and the hobby is the car. And honestly, good for them. They are happy. Annoyingly, sincerely happy. And now, the top. S tier, the enlightened, the final boss of confidence. And it is going to make 90% of you furious, because the answer is boring. S tier is the Toyota Corolla, the Honda Civic, the Camry, the Lexus, which is just a Toyota that asked for a raise and got it. These cars have no aggressive badge, no exhaust note that wakes the neighborhood, no personality to flex, because the owner does not need one. The Toyota owner has reached a level of peace the rest of us can only dream about. He knows something you do not. He knows this car will start every single morning, in any weather, for the next 25 years. It will outlive his marriage, his mortgage, and quite possibly the heat death of the universe. While the Range Rover guy is on the phone with a tow truck and the BMW guy is pricing out a new transmission, the Camry owner is doing absolutely nothing, because nothing has ever gone wrong, because nothing ever will. That is the secret. The most confident person in any parking lot is not the one with the loudest car. It is the man in the beige Corolla with 300,000 miles on it, who has nothing to prove, because the proving is over. He won. He won so long ago, he forgot it was a competition. Being boring, it turns out, is the most expensive flex there is, because it costs you your entire ego, and almost nobody can afford that. So that is the ranking. The Altima fleeing the law in the basement, the Chargers buying confidence by the horsepower, the Jeeps waving at strangers, the Germans drowning in lease payments, the Subarus and their tragic head gaskets, and the quiet Toyota monks sitting at the very top, enlightened and unbothered. But here is the real twist, and I want you to actually sit with this one. The car you drive says a lot. The car you defend in the comments of this video says more. But the car you say you would buy if money was no object, the one you think about late at night, that is the real you. The driver you actually are underneath all of it. And I would bet money it is not on the tier you think it is. So tell me, which tier did your car land on, and how mad are you about it right now? Drop it in the comments, defend your brand, start a war. I genuinely cannot wait to watch. And if this video roasted you a little too accurately, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button. because next time we are decoding what your car's interior says about your private life. And trust me, some of you need to clean that out before the episode drops. Thanks for watching. Drive safe, signal occasionally, and I will see you in the next one.